Hello everyone. So let's start this match actually between Magnus Carlsen and Fabiano Caruana. So it's happening in title Tuesday today. So let's see. Magnus started with the game with d4 and knight f6. Sorry, actually Magnus was black. c4, e6. So Magnus is just doing New Zealand trying to develop the bishop and then castle. Knight c3, bishop d4. Just normal opening theory. And he played e3. Just Fabiano just trying to develop the bishop. P6 again, it's a very interesting choice. Try to develop the put the bishop on here. It's a typical setup. It's called, I think, Queen's Indian or something like that. Putting the bishop here, then bishop there actually. So it's a typical setup. Knight e2 again. Again, the idea is very simple. You wanted to do a3. Now the main reason is, for example, if you try to do a3, then Magnus can simply take, and eventually this pawn is just double pawn, and also the bishop get blocked. So the main reason, for example, after e3 and b6 92 bishop b 94, the main plan is very simple. He wanted to do a3, for example, a castle, now a3. Now that, so that he does not ruin the structure. So that's the main simple plan. You see the engine is also showing, and it's a very typical plan. And now 94. So again, Magnus is destroying the structure. Now bishop d2 again, trying to protect this thing. Knight takes, queen takes, and then bishop b7, and just trying to keeping a knight. And now Fabiano Caruana play a3, which is his main plan. Now he play bishop e7 makes a lot of sense, not to giving the bishop. The only advantage that Magnus has double bishop advantage. Knight g3 again. It's an interesting move. I think that's a new move actually. Maybe now Fabiano preparing for f3 4. Not like that. Maybe like he wanted to develop bishop because the bishop is already pointing here, so it's very difficult to develop. Now h5, amazing typical Magnus move. Magnus suddenly realizes that this knight is c3 is misplaced, so I should need to kick this knight. Just imagine the knight is on f3, knight is present on f3. So this move is not like that much of good actually. This move makes a lot of sense. That's how intuition work at top level. That's why he's Magnus Carlsen. He's dominating chess for example 13 years. Amazing. He played d5. Now again, though it seems like for example white is trying to close the bishop, but at the same time if you carefully observe, like for example white just simply give this bishop. So I was thinking one of the idea for example a5, knight f6, knight c5, trying to go, but he's Magnus. He plays h4. Knight again. I think that he cannot play knight e4. Basically, f5 is coming. So again, it's impossible. So h5, h4, knight e2 was played. So now a knight is going to, for example, point this two square. e5. Amazing, beautiful move by Magnus. Actually, see, he's just simply stopping the way of the development of the opponent plans. Now castle again. It's Fabian gonna play amazing. Now d6. So now g4. Amazing, interesting move by Fabiano Caruana. Now he wanted to play f4. Now if you do impasse, maybe you can play knight f3 or also gf3 is also possible. So Magnus did impasse, very good move. Now knight takes. Yeah, that's the thing. I was thinking actually pawn takes also, so that this pawn could get a support, but at the same time this pawn is just becoming weak. So takes knight this. Now king b1, g6, trying to stop this thing. Bishop d3, bishop h4, bishop c2. So you can see the maneuver that Fabian Caruana is doing. It's kind of small inaccuracy. Magnus play queen e7, just trying to do long castle to protect the king because the king is still staying in the center. So f4 again, trying to open the position because the king is in the center. So you see they are following the golden rules. Always in golden rules, when the king is in the center, we always try to open the position. But again, Magnus will not open. Magnus play f5. Again, this move is also fine because why black is able to do long castle. Just imagine in this position, black is not able to long castle. For example, Magnus play here a6. Okay, just for the sake. Now the takes once again. So basically, after takes. Now if you see the Indian evolution, it's just simply 1.6. Why? Because simply the king is in the center. So apparently, Indian is also following golden rules actually. So king safety and many other things are there actually. Okay. So that's how like top players always think. Now if for f5, trying to maybe close the position later. Okay. So he played knight b5. Now again, I feel that he's just simply stopping the long idea and also attacking this thing. So I think he just need to move the knight. Okay. So he played king d8. Amazing, beautiful way Magnus Carlsen actually. I think I also miss this move actually. Basically, he just make the king safe and at the same time he should also protect this pawn without moving the knight. Because now if you take, for example, maybe Magnus Carlsen can take with knight takes. Okay, so that's the thing. Now knight e2 was played. a6, knight g3, and king. Amazing, beautiful move. So a kind of artificial maneuver. And he played rook g1 trying to attack this thing, but again queen f7. Again, it's a very good move, I think. Again, like it's kind of like trying to make the bishop can also join here actually. so that this pawn could also attack, like for example in future actually. Now e4, trying to put more pressure on the pawn. Now bishop this e4. Now again rook f1, very good. Magnus just simply just make the king safe. Okay, sorry for that. Like I think that okay, so I feel that the moves were just made. Sorry for that. Now takes time to open. G takes. Eventually, you see Magnus Carlsen pawn this pawn will fall. But still, the knight is very strong at the center actually. So rook into f5, queen e7. Such a beautiful move actually. Queen f4 was played. Bishop c8, just trying to bring this piece. And knight d4. Oh, okay, okay. So knight d4. I think that he simply can take this thing. Maybe nothing is working. So takes. Now a4 again. I don't know what is the idea. Maybe a5 and try to maybe knight b5. Try to do something actually here. So bishop f6, a5. We are just simply trying to push the pawn. Rook b8. Now actually, if you carefully see, Fabiano just started like creating his own weakness. What a beautiful move by Magnus Carlsen. That's the reason if you carefully see, he just played bishop f6. Suddenly, Magnus Carlsen is the one who is attacking the rook f4, knight e7. Again, you see, just a very logical move, trying to protect the bishop and at the same time opening the diagonal of the this knight e4, pawn takes, queen e3. But again, it was too late. The king is already quite safe. Maybe some move like this is possible, but again, I think too late. Maybe Magnus Carlsen play rook b6 so that he could protect this thing also. Oh, he played rook into b2. Sorry, actually, this is hanging, so it's just simply win. And after the 95, so again, nothing is happening. You cannot take because knight into c4 is there. So it's just almost lost. So after 95, knight d6, queen b8. Amazing, beautiful move. Basically, in this position, why didn't take? I feel that maybe. Okay, so the main idea is that rook into f6 was coming actually. So knight was kind of blocking if you carefully see. So yeah, that's the thing. Now rook into a2. Such a beautiful move by Magnus Carlsen actually. So rook into f6, rook g8. Oh my god, what a beautiful move! It's impossible now. If you see, he's just threatening this thing actually, and now queen into d8. Okay, so takes and then takes. Amazing, amazing match, really. This kind of match we just want. Such an amazing match between Fabiano Caruana. It's all very amazing. I think one mistake that Fabiano Caruana did, but he also played amazing match. And if you carefully see, I feel that the accuracy of the moves actually. So Magnus Carlsen has 96.7 accuracy. Can you believe it? Though actually is one of the goat of chess. Actually, everyone loves to like see him like playing chess. And yeah, it's a pleasure for our generation to see him on the board. Again, thank you for watching the video. If you like, share, subscribe, so that I could able to like put more and more valuable content for you. Yeah, it's very difficult for me to also get some time. I'm doing studying. So yeah, thank you. Good night.